What's up, everybody, and welcome to TinkTink.org interviews. I'm your host, Josh Wilson, here today with level and game design guru over at Black Pants Game Studio, Mr. Florian Grolig, or how would the German people say it?
Grolig.
Grolig. See, I'm not German. How are you doing today, sir?
Fine.
All
Thanks
right,
for hearing me.
no problem, no problem. Now, are you a gamer, and if so, where did your love for gaming begin?
Yes, I'm actually am. And you're asking when I or where I started gaming or what
Or
I
like,
played.
what made you like games? Like, what first got you started?
Uh, I have no idea actually. No, I played games since I was a kid, but I never actually thought about why. So I started thinking about it when I started making games. So I can say maybe now what I love about games, which is actually a certain freedom and the possibility to do stuff you can't do normally, and maybe to explore and discover interesting stuff besides the way nobody else would find.
Very nice. Now, how did you get into the gaming industry?
By accident, actually. So I have yeah, again, I have a background in animation film and Tiny and Big. So we're talking about Tiny and Big. Huh? It was the first game we realized, and it started as a student project. And actually, it started with some guys from software engineering who were looking for people who could do some content and had some game ideas. And had never thought about making games. I was only playing them, and then people came and telling us, "Hey, we are programmers. We can create all the code. Don't you want to make a game?" And we were all like, "Hey, why not? We like games. Let's try to make one." So it was actually a coincidence.
Very nice. Now, you mentioned you went for animation filmmaker or filmmaking. Has that helped you any in making games?
It helped a lot, yes. So we for none of us has ever done a game, but we basically had some knowledge in animation, storytelling, and had a little bit of production knowledge. Otherwise, our first game probably would never have been finished, I suppose.
Very nice.
So,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
uh, yeah, no, I mean, there are many similarities between animation and games in a way. Not the interactive part, but all the rest. And we all came from a 3D animation background, so we knew how to create a 3D world. That was stuff we actually knew about before we started.
Awesome. Now, for anybody who doesn't know about y'all's game, Tiny and Big Grandpa's Leftovers, could you give us a quick description of the game and why we should play it?
Okay, I'll try. So it's a game about Tiny who's going after Big, who stole your grandpa's magic underwear, and it's basically about slicing the world into pieces to create a new way to the end of the level. So it's a game about destruction in a constructive way and about the joy of slicing stuff.
You had me at underwear, man. All right.
And
So, Tiny and Big it's a very unique game to say the least. How did the creative process for this game go? I mean, was it challenging? Was it just, oh yeah, we're awesome at this?
yeah, luckily we didn't knew a lot about game design when we started, so we came up with an idea like, hey, let's make a completely destructible game, and everyone was, hey, yeah, do it. And nobody knew enough about game development and game design to tell us that it's actually a really huge task and hardly to manage by people who don't have much knowledge in game production. So that was a lucky part. And after a while, we have been so deep into production that we couldn't stop anymore. So we had to get along with it. And it was like hard to the end, I can say. Like,
Now, go ahead. I'm sorry.
huh?
I thought I cut you off. I'm not even sure, man. Kind of a spotty connection. But now, you mentioned that most of the level in Tiny and Big is destructible, and you're the level and game designer. How how is that being a level designer when the player can just totally destroy your level?
Uh, so there are two different points of view. One would be it's very easy because if everything's destructible, it's hard to design it all. So you can like relax. that's probably not working. Like if like just putting a block in the middle of a level and letting the player do might already be a level. But so that was actually the first idea for the game. Like thinking, okay, we don't have to do any level design because the player can destroy everything, so it's all up to him. But obviously that does not work. So really designing a level, it's hard work. I'm not sure if we really did it too well, but we tried. It's about finding limitations that are not too much seeming to be limitations, like distance limitations for the laser and stuff like that. So we try to give the player a freedom and don't let him feel too hard that we take it away again. Was it understandable?
Now, are any dates being talked about for episode 2 for Tiny and Big? Or is an episode 2 even planned?
Once again, I didn't get it from the connection.
I'm sorry.
Once again,
the question. I'm sorry. All right. Episode 2 for Tiny and Big. Are there any talks about developing that or a release date that's been mentioned?
Yes, so we right now we're talking about different projects in the team. For every one of us needs a little break of Tiny and Big, but we already have small ideas how a second episode could look like. I guess we're gonna think about it a bit more in the near future. For there's definitely a lot of potential for the characters and the world and even the mechanics, I would say. So, but yeah, I guess we're gonna develop a very rough concept and then basically try to get some funding or some whoever to realize it.
Very nice. Now, Black Pants also has another game titled About Love, Hate, and the Other Ones. Could you tell us a little bit about this game?
Yes, it's a iOS puzzler, which was originally designed by Tobias Bilgeri, who's also part of Black Pants, and he released a Flash version and then decided to turn it into an iPhone game. It's now available. It's based on an animation series as well, which was called About Love, Hate, and the Other Ones as well. I guess you can watch it on iTunes, which is all based about focused on the two characters, Love and Hate, with their love and hate ability. What else can I tell? It's very cheap, so just buy it. It's a 90-cent iPhone game. It's really fun. I like it.
Very nice, very nice. So, any secret projects being worked on over at Black Pants?
We're right now we're like in prototyping we're prototyping different game concepts we have and are basically trying to get some funding for the next project. So we're only like a team of 5 people, so most of us are still busy with dealing with all the stuff that Kate Tiny released, and now the first of us is slowly starting to developing new projects. Hopefully something new will show up next year.
Very nice. So, any plans on Kickstarter, any type of other crowdfunding that your fans and supporters can help you out with?
Nothing online now, but we actually looking into every direction when we're thinking about funding or financing a project. Crowdfunding is a huge opportunity, but actually there's no Kickstarter in Germany right now, and so it's not very easy for us to get Kickstarter, and most of the very small crowdfunding platforms you have in Germany aren't big enough to raise enough money to actually produce a game. So we're hoping Kickstarter will soon show up in Germany as well.
We can only hope. So, any advice for any future game designers out there?
Start small. Or really big. Advice. Do something very small you can like handle easily, or do something which is nearly impossible. Maybe you fail, but people will for sure recognize you.
Very nice. So, also anything you'd like to say in closing or to the fans out there?
Not really.
Awesome. Well, everybody, since you're already here, you might as well subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to visit our site, tinktink.org, for all of your gaming needs. Also, be sure to head over to tinyandbig.com for news and updates from the guys over at Black Pants Game Studios. And special thanks to Florian for talking with us today. And you can head over to Black Pants and also pick up a free demo for Tiny and Big. Get to check out all that madness. And this has been Josh Wilson. As always, thanks for listening to TinkTink.org interviews.